Now, as we continue in this special coverage, let's go live with our special envoys and correspondents, Unisoner Belén de los Santos, who are in Caracas to have a sum up of everything that has happened in this paramount swearing ceremony of President Nicolás Maduro. Belén, Yunus, hello, can you hear us? What can you tell us from your side?
Hello, Luis, exactly. So precisely as you were saying, we're here downtown in Caracas, and the news is that Venezuela has a newly inaugurated president. Nicolás Maduro has been inaugurated for his new presidential mandate for the next 6 years, and that is the most important event taking place today.
That's true. There was a huge ceremony with the attendance of the President of the Parliament, Jorge Rodriguez, who has led the ceremony, but also worth mentioning that representatives of 125 countries were present at the ceremony, recognizing thus factually the government, the presidency of Nicolás Maduro, personally by their ministers, by their prime minister, or special envoys.
Exactly. So let's recall a little bit of what we have seen today. We had the swearing-in ceremony at the National Assembly, as was the mandate of the Constitution. This is January 10th. This was the day that everyone was expecting, and that is what has happened, as the Constitution says, in the National Assembly. And that was one of the things, the presidential sash that Jorge Rodriguez handed over to President Nicolás Maduro was actually hand-stitched by Venezuelan women, by the Venezuelan people. So that was one of the most symbolic signs of this inauguration. Also, after the ceremony, of course, Nicolás Maduro had his first presidential speech after this new inauguration. So let's talk a little bit about what he said and the most important points. One of the things is that just highlighting the fact that this was a ceremony, a swearing-in ceremony of the people, with the people, and for the people, because the people are out on the streets, right?
Exactly, and the speech really was a historic one. He made a number of historic references. He mentioned, emphasized that Venezuela has been struggling against colonialism, against imperialism since 500 years, and this last election on July 28 was not less than a further victory in this struggle, actually. And I took a note when he said, it seemed to me interesting, that the Venezuelan constitution has defeated the oligarchy and imperialism in this election, and it is actually today again the reivindication of the Venezuelan constitution that is being held at this ceremony. That's something that I took note of.
Exactly, the idea that the constitution prevails. Despite the attack, despite the blockade, despite the media campaign, what the Constitution said had to happen actually happened today. And it only just happened, but it happened with the presence of the Venezuelan people. We are here out of the streets. We are just blocks away from the National Assembly, from where everything took place. And this was filled, is still filled with people. There were different posts with the live transmission as they were showing all this speech, and the people were listening attentively. Many were crying. This was a very important and significant day in that way. So in that way as well, this was a swearing-in ceremony with the people. Also, another of the highlights of this event was the idea of impulsing, moving forward, the 7 transformations. This has been one of the key topics for the presidential speech in the past years, and it will continue to be so moving forward in the new mandate. So President Maduro was highlighting all of these topics, including, for example, the importance of ecology in the new policies and the importance of geopolitics. And once again, he made a call for Venezuela to be a member of the BRICS. Actually, he said that Venezuela has already been, for the past 200 years, a member of the BRICS.
Yeah, that's what he called the geopolitics of peace, the emerging multi-central, polycentric, multipolar world, and it's really noteworthy that Venezuela takes a lead here in its foreign policy, as it did since Comandante Chavez and his foreign policy of this emerging new world order, in which, again, with this historic reference, President Maduro said that since independence, which has been a fight against colonization, since independence, actually, Venezuela has been part of this movement. I think that's a very strong and very good formula, actually, that the spirit of this state, the spirit of this people, the spirit of this government is already a member of BRICS and has already been a member of it before even BRICS was founded. Yeah, and they are prepared. I mean, he emphasized clearly they are watching. The government, the United Socialist Party of Venezuela, is watching, analyzing, and preparing itself for these elections that will take place in this year, in the 2025. And they are foreseeing and analyzing different scenarios and already developing their plans, their proposals, their candidates, including for these elections, which will be held in this year. This is noteworthy because President Maduro already presented himself very much ready to govern, not only with the elections, but also with the whole political program he presented. Yeah, this festival, this World Festival of Anti-Fascist International, started yesterday here in Caracas in the Carlota Convention Center, and more than 2,000 delegates are taking part in it, of more than 70 countries. I heard that some countries, some delegations, even chartered a specific plane because there were not enough seats in regular flights to Caracas, so they chartered an entire plane to attend this festival here in Caracas. And it is discussing all these topics: fascism, neo-fascism, Zionism, of course, and they are discussing it as an instrument of imperialism. This is very noteworthy, and they are discussing how to fight against it concretely. They are gathering in workshops and developing, for instance, communication models. They are developing intellectual groupings. They are deepening the communication and organizational structure of this establishment, of this new formation, and this is another important step. And of course, all these 2,000 delegates are also here to confirm once again the importance and the leadership of the Bolivarian movement revolution in this emerging new world order.
So, thank you, Yunus, Sheikh Belen. We were hearing the party, the music, as was accompanying you in this marvelous day of celebration as President Nicolás Maduro was just touring. You were witness, our beloved audience, of this paramount event of Venezuela in all our networks and social media as President Nicolás Maduro was sworn in as the constitutional president for the year 2025-2031.